boundaries. I'm going to take you back to kindergarten and tell you a story. A story about a bear that lived in a 10 by 10 feet cage for most of his life. And when he was finally released into the jungle with acres of land in front of him, this bear only went 10 feet forward, 10 feet back, 10 feet to the right, and 10 feet to the left. This bear was so used to being confined in barriers that it created imaginary limits. It's silly to think, but it's something we do all the time. When we're satisfied with all the work we've done, when we don't take on challenges because they seem too hard, when we don't do something just because we don't feel like it, we also stop ourselves at 10 feet. See, we're told push the limits, but why? That's like taking a hurdle from here and moving it a few feet forward. Doesn't mean it's gone and it won't stop us again. So how do we get out of this cage that has trapped us? It's like a riddle my brother once told me. He said, imagine you're stuck in a room filled with venomous snakes with no doors or windows. How do you escape? You stop imagining. And that's what we have to do. We have to stop imagining and get rid of that hurdle forever. See, we already live in a world without boundaries. We just imagine that we don't. We imagine lines that stop us from achieving our goals. We imagine lines that divide countries. We imagine lines that segregate people. We imagine lines that stop humanity from progressing. But why? Why do we do it in the first place? We imagine to justify. Because it's easier to blame and complain and just accept. We've justified slavery. We've justified countless wrongs into rights. We've justified that some problems just have no solutions. We've justified that it's simply impossible. This mentality gets us nowhere. What moves us forward is not imagining to justify, but imagining to achieve. When I went to the NASA Space Museum, one of the astronauts that went to the moon said, I wish I could go to every classroom, take out the dictionary, and cross off the word impossible. Because if you told Christopher Columbus that we would be flying to the white circle he sees in the sky, he would say impossible, but it's been done. And it gets even better. If you told the people of Europe that Christopher Columbus would be sailing through oceans and finding land, they would say impossible, but it's also been done. As humans, we've constantly defied reality and challenged the norms. We just have to do it more often and on a larger scale. Now, I'm not saying go split the atom or find out how to invent the light bulb. All I'm saying is don't give up, because even a few more seconds make a huge difference. See, in life, a few more adds up to a lot. See, seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days, and those days turn into years. And if we spent even a few more days or moments believing in ourselves and staying positive, then we can accomplish anything. When I was a kid, I was very shy and introverted. You'd be lucky if I said a few words a day. I had the most outrageous dream. It was to be a motivational speaker. Obviously, my personality didn't match the description, and people thought I was crazy for wanting to be one. And I listened, and I put myself into a 10 by 10 feet cage. It wasn't until I heard a quote from Steve Jobs that changed my mind. He said, people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. For the first time, I was happy to be called crazy. I was happy to push the limits. I worked hard and finally was able to do something I thought was impossible as a 5-year-old. See, no statistic, no person, no reality should ever define us. We already live in a world without boundaries. It's our choice whether to go 10 feet or run acres.